Today we have a request from Fall Autumn 7721 asking to review some portable chargers. Stick around and see how these three different chargers measure up. Hey everybody, welcome back. If this is your first time dropping in, welcome. This is Raph's Reviews and I am Raph. On this channel I say don't spend your hard-earned money on something that may not fit your needs. Let me try it out for you and help you decide whether or not it's something that you want to buy. So this video is not sponsored. I purchased these chargers on my own to make this review. I tried to get a couple companies to supply some to test but had no luck. In case you didn't know, most companies will only support you if you're a large channel. So since we're kind of a small channel and just starting off, it was no surprise that we wouldn't get sponsored. Hopefully down the road as this channel grows, more companies will be apt to sponsor us when we have a request. Okay, so today we're going to take a look at three different battery banks. We'll test them in order from the least expensive to the most expensive of the three. Before we even begin that, let's talk about what a battery bank is in case anybody is unfamiliar with them. Now, a battery bank is a portable charger that you can use to power up devices such as phones, iPads, even other things that you would normally plug in to charge, and in some instances, even your laptop. So when you're looking at battery banks, there are two separate numbers of measurements that you have to be aware of, and that's watts and battery capacity. We'll begin by discussing battery capacity, and this is measured in milliamp hours. This is a unit of charge, and the number you see in front of MAH is how many units of charge the battery has. So, because I have a small brain, I'm going to go ahead and use small numbers here. But let's say your battery bank is 100 milliamps an hour, and the device that you want to charge takes 10 milliamps an hour to fully charge. This would mean, in theory, that you could fully charge that device 10 times. Next thing that you're going to look at is watts. Watts is basically how much power that power bank can push out. This does two things for you. Number one, the more watts, the faster the charge. And number two, the more watts, the larger the device you can power. Now, every device requires its own wattage, and this can usually either be found on the device, usually around where the power cord's coming out, or on the brick of the charging cable. So some examples of average wattage required to charge different devices are smartphones, which usually take about 5 watts up to 20 watts if they're doing the fast charge. Tablets are about 12 watts. Laptops can go up to 96 watts. And coffee pots, because they have that heating element in them, will go up to 750 watts. So now that we have a general working knowledge, let's go ahead and continue. So first, we're going to take a look at the Good AAA power bank. This power bank has 15 watts of power with 36,000 milliamp hour battery capacity. Because of that large capacity, you can get just under 8 iPhone XR charges, just over 8 charges on the iPhone 12, and almost 6 full charges on the Galaxy S20. Also, you should be able to get 4 charges on the iPad mini. And at the time of this recording, this charger ran for $39.99. Now, this power bank feels pretty rugged, and it has some features that I really like. First, you can either plug it into a wall to recharge it, or you can also charge using this solar panel that's attached to the front of it. Now, it does come with a little carabiner, which comes in pretty handy, specifically when it comes to charging, and here's why. For years, I've kept one of these clipped to my bag, so when I'm out walking around, it's charging in the sun. This way, if I need it, it's right there and it's always ready to go. The one that I use is probably half the size of this one as far as thickness is concerned, but it's always been really great to just kind of have on the backpack if I'm out hiking or walking around taking pictures. I'll always have a full battery pack ready to go. One thing I do wish is that this came with some kind of a bag or a cover to protect that solar panel when it's not charging, but not a huge deal. It's definitely not a deal breaker. So the next thing I like is the fact that it does have a wireless charging pad on it. So basically you can just set your phone down on there and it will charge if your phone is compatible with that kind of thing. And then when we move to the front, if we flip the front flap open, we have a USB-A port a USB-C port and a USB micro port that you can plug charging cables into, so that way you can charge anything with a cord. But the other great thing is, sometimes you might forget a cable. No big deal. Problem solved, because this has some built-in cables with it. So we have a lightning cable, a USB-C cable, and a USB micro cable. And also it comes with a USB-A cable here, and that's just used to plug into, say, a wall adapter, so that way you can recharge the battery case. All right, we'll go ahead and close those up. And then last but not least on this bad boy, we've got a little couple LED flashlights on there, and if we hold down the power button, those will cycle on. So you always have a flashlight with you too. Obviously it just runs off the battery of the battery pack itself. So next we have the Anker A1617 charger. Now at the time of this recording, this one sells for $54.99. Now I have had this exact charger for a couple years now, and it has worked out really well for me. This device has a 10-watt charging wireless charging pad on it, and also 18-watt quick charge USB-C port and a USB-A port. So the USB-C port is both in and out, so you could recharge the battery pack that way. Now, since this is a smaller battery capacity, this will charge your cell phone around 3 times, just over 1 time for the iPad mini. But the thing that's great about this is, now I've had this sitting in my bag for almost a year without recharging it, and it's still registered as having a full charge. So it's definitely something that you can just stow away, maybe in your car, or if you keep a severe weather like bug out bag or something, it would be a great addition. Like I said, only downfall is it is only 10,000 milliamps, so it might not last you for, say, a long weekend getaway or something, but you do have the ability to recharge it. So I usually just set myself a reminder about every 6 months to just plug it in and charge it, and it's been great. So the other thing that's kind of funny is, for years before making this video, it's got this little clip on here. There it is. And I used to think that this was like to kind of hang it up in your tent or something, so that way you could just plug in and charge from it. But it's actually designed to be a little cell phone holder. So if you stick your cell phone there, it will hold your cell phone in place while you're watching a movie or anything like that. So never knew until I made this video. So Fall Autumn, thank you for making me make this video and learning that my battery pack had that already. And then also with the Ankers, this comes with a mesh bag for storage. Lastly, we have the INIU BI B63 power bank. At the time of this recording, Amazon was selling this bad boy for $59.99. Now this thing is pretty massive when it comes to weight, but that's because it's supposed to be able to charge a laptop also. We will definitely put that to the test. This battery bank does have 3 ports on it. A in and out port, that's a USB-C, and that's rated at 65 watts. Your second USB-C is rated at 30 watts, and your USB-A is rated at 22.5 watts. Now with that kind of power, it advertises that you can get 1.3 charges in a MacBook Pro, 5.4 iPhone 14 charges, 4.7 Samsung S23 charges, and a 3.4 iPad mini charges. Now this power bank does come with a USB-A to USB-C cable, a USB-C to USB-C cable, and a carrying case just like the Anker. One thing that I do like on this is it has this little percentage left indicator. Most of them kind of just have like colored dots. You'll have like 4 colored dots, and as the dot is lit up, it's a quarter of the way charged. But having this lets you know exactly how much charge you have left. The only downfall for me really is it doesn't support that wireless charging, and it's pretty hefty. But they do come with a 3-year replacement guarantee with their products, so that gives you a little bit more of an added peace of mind. And let's go ahead and see if it charges the MacBook Pro, because that would be the only reason why I would use this one. Okay, so here I have a MacBook Pro 14-inch edition. This has the M1 chip in it. We've got our MacBook cord plugged into the 65-watt input, and it shows that it's charging. So So that's good. Definitely works for the MacBook, which, as I said, with the weight of this thing, that's about the only reason why I would use it. So there was one other one that I really wanted to get my hands on, and that was the Omni 20 Plus. I really wanted to review that one, although I could not get them to sponsor us for the review. And since it sells for $250, I was not about to make that purchase without a guarantee that I could return it after testing. However, I did use one of these one time when I was traveling. I was in one of the Delta Sky lounges, and that thing was a beast. Super solid construction, had quick charging, even had a regular US 110 volt outlet on the side, and I would have loved to review that one for you, but like I said, I just couldn't make it happen. So what we did to test these was I allowed my phone to get down to 50% and then timed how long it would take to fully charge. I utilized the original iPhone USB-C to Lightning on all the phones to keep things as consistent as I could. And prior to each test, I went ahead and I restarted the phone to make sure everything that was open would get closed. So what we saw was the good AAA took 2 hours and 7 minutes to charge from 50% to 100%. So we know Anchor can recharge things more than the rest of them because of how big the battery capacity is, but the watts are much lower, so it takes longer to charge, but you'll get more charges out of it. The Anchor took 1 hour and 36 minutes, so definitely much quicker. It pushes out much more watts when it's charging. But again, that one only had 10,000 milliamp hours, so you cannot get as many charges out of it. And then lastly, the INIU took 1 hour and 28 minutes. Now I know you heard me say that there's a 65 watt output on that battery bank, enough to recharge a computer. So you would think that, hey, I should be able to charge the iPhone super fast, but it was really the same amount of time as the other. And that's because with the iPhone itself, it will cap itself out at 20 watts. So it will not take in 65 watts to charge. It would damage the battery. So it will only pull 20 watts to charge from at a time. That's why those two numbers are so close together. But you'll get more charges out of the INIU because it is larger, and also it would charge that laptop. So all in all, I mean, all three are super great chargers, I think. Like I said, I've had this Anchor for quite a few years now, and I absolutely love it. It's small, it's lightweight, it's enough to get you from one point to another. Like I said, maybe not any long weekend getaways, but it's definitely nice. The good AAA, it's also good. Love that it has the cables and the wireless. I will probably replace the one that I currently keep on my backpack with this one with the carabiner, so that way I still have something that's charging in the sun, and maybe I'll keep my other one inside like the camper or something. And the INIU, that's something I would obviously just kind of keep in my computer bag, so that way it would be available if I needed to recharge my computer. So fall, autumn, I hope that was helpful for you. I hope I was able to answer any questions that you had on it. If I failed to answer any of the questions or anything specific that you were trying to find out from the review, please do not hesitate to put something down in the comment section, and I'll make a follow-on video testing that specific thing that you are looking to have tested on these items. But all in all, they're pretty great products, depending on what your use is. If you're just looking for something to charge your phone, then you probably wouldn't need something as big as the INIU. You could use one of the smaller ones, like the Anchor. But if you want to be able to charge a laptop, obviously you're going to need a bigger one. I'll tell you, out of all three of them, you wouldn't be making a wrong choice of purchasing any of them because they're all put together pretty well. And that's going to do it for this review. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure you drop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about the review or the product itself. And also, please let me know if you'd like me to try anything out for you. I'll contact the company to see if they will facilitate a review. If so, I'll go ahead and make a video for it. And again, if you enjoyed the review, please, please, please give us a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel to help us out, and ring that bell so you can be notified when a new video releases, especially if it's yours. So I'll put the link to everything down in the description below, so feel free to go ahead and take a look at those on Amazon if you'd like. I'm not affiliated with it at all, so completely unbiased on any of them. Thanks so much. Have a great day.